right off the nearest cliff. If I had not seen you take Geraldine on the lake in your flat-bottomed skiff. If you had not left me home when you had 2 seats for self as if I'm gonna miss you, baby. Things could have been terrific. Ah, what's the diff? If the best years of my life weren't spent as your wife with no marriage certificate. If you were not such a two-timing guy. If you weren't. If you hadn't. If you didn't. If you weren't, if you hadn't, if you didn't, but you have, and you were, and you wouldn't, you didn't. So, goodbye. I did a show next that we did a very, very long pre-Broadway tour. That means you're trying to fix it. But I'm gonna skip over that one and go back to it in a few minutes. Now I have a very valid reason for doing so. But while we were touring, I was in Los Angeles, California, and one night the great Arthur Freed, who had produced so many wonderful musicals at MGM, came to the theater and asked me if I would do a test for Metro. And I want to do a test for Metro? Well, they liked it. And I spent 3 very, very happy years there. My first picture, curiously enough, was written by Comden and Green. It was called It's Always Fair Weather. And I starred with Gene Kelly, Dan Daly, and Sid Charisse. But the great Andre Previn wrote my first song for my first movie. Thanks for the present of the silver blue mink. Thanks for the plane and the ice skating rink. Thanks for the yacht and for the solid gold sink. Thanks a lot, but no thanks. Thanks for the Scrabble set with platinum board. Thanks for the factory once known as Ford. Thank you for finding me the famous lost chord. Thanks a lot, but no thanks. For I am just a faithful lassie, waiting for her faithful. I was a size 10 then. And there's no gift, however classy, by which this lass, she can be heard. Thanks for the banks and for the Santa Fe line. Thanks for the darling uranium mine. But I'm a gal with only one Valentine. Thanks a lot, but no.
Sorry, Francis.
Then I did Kismet with Howard Keel. Oh, and remember that score? Remember, Ron? Wasn't that super? Stranger in Paradise. Night of my nights. This is my beloved. Gorgeous music. And then the one that I always thought was so pretty. Their money's worth. So when all the credits were being rolled, you heard my voice singing, why do guys who should know better gape at a well-filled sweater? What's there about it that keeps them craning their necks? Well, the answer is the opposite sex. That was Sammy Kahn, Jimmy Van Heusen. You're right. Gee whiz, I gotta watch out for you. And then I did, I guess Designing Woman was next, with Gregory Peck, Lauren Bacall, and then a very, very sad thing happened for everyone in Hollywood.
William, thank you.
They stopped making all those wonderful pictures. And that gifted family who had created such treasures for us dispersed, each went their own way. And I went back to New York, of course, and I did a wonderful show based on Destry Rides Again with Andy Griffith. And it was called Destry Rides Again. And then I did a musical version of The Man Who Came to Dinner and I had my hit. Except that we never made an album, or I didn't get a record on that. So that 100 times a day, when you flipped on the radio, there was my song, sung by Marilyn May. Sherry, you fill my cup with happiness. Sherry, you fill it up with happiness. You make this life a glorious game. The sound of your name can set me aflame with gay anticipation. And then the second chorus in the show was a lot more fun. It said, Sherry, here's the message, my dear. You'll never guess what happened to Terry. She went away to Switzerland and had the whole thing lifted again. She should have said, when they pulled her so tight this time, she can't bend over. That always tickles me. And then for the very first time in my life, I got married and I stopped working. And for nearly 9 years, I lived in Southern California on a very beautiful horse farm. It was a wonderful new way of life, and for a long, long time, I really didn't miss my work too much. And one day the phone rang, and it was London, and that's always been a magic word to me. 2 producers asked me if I would come back and take over a very big hit production of Gypsy, and I said, well, I just don't sing anymore. But they flew out to see me. I liked them both enormously, and after listening to the score and reading the book again, I said, yes, I'll do it. And I'm so glad that I did, because to tell you the truth, I realized very suddenly how much I had missed my work. But far more important than that, I realized how much I had missed you, the people to sing to. So now that I'm back, I'm going to sing my little heart out whenever and wherever anybody wants to hear me. Oh, you rest now. You promised you would. I am going to do a song for you now from the show that was on the road so long, but it was one of those theatrical heartbreaks. Carnival in Flanders went into New York and closed in 6 performances. But the following spring, a lovely thing happened for me. I got the Tony Award for that show, so it's very, very dear to me. Dearer still, because long after the show was gone and forgotten, a song began to emerge. I think it's now one of the loveliest things in contemporary music. I never got to record this one either. But it was mine. I sang it first. Maybe I should have saved those leftover dreams. Funny. But here's that rainy day. Here's that rainy day they told me about. And I laughed at the thought that it might turn out this way. Where is that worn out wish that I threw aside after it brought my lover near? Funny how love becomes Now you know why I saved it for last. Richard, if you're there, my darling, could you just unswathe the orchestra? I would like you to say good evening, and please join me in thanking the three men who work with me. Behind the sparrows, no, each one, no. I mean, we do everything here with a lot of style and class in the Country Cousin. Behind the spiral staircase and on electric bass is Alan Roth. Now, and over there playing absolutely delicious drums is a dear person with beautiful green eyes. His name is Peter Beeman. And I was fortunate indeed to meet a gentleman for the first time when I came over here, and I was fortunate indeed to get him to be my musical director. He's one of the great funky jazz pianists, wonderful arranger, and I have been fortunate indeed in having at the piano Mr. Con Bernard. Back into the chiffon cage. Now, there may be a few people here tonight who were here the first night, and I told a little story which I think has an enormous amount of charm. Richard Coleman, my manager, we were rehearsing and doing a run-through, and the night before, and he said, you know, wouldn't it be pretty for a girl if there was some kind of little chiffon drapes or something on the stage? Well, this whole crew got together, and the sewing machines came out, and all the elves and brownies were stitching curtains and nailing them up. We left oatmeal and raisins and cookies out that night. And when we got here the next day, all that magic had been created, which I think looks super, don't you? It really looks pretty. I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. And I think maybe I have, another song. I'd like to propose a toast. Here's to the ladies who lunch. Everybody laugh. Lounging in their caftans and planning a brunch on their own behalf. Off to the gym, then to a fitting, claiming they're fat and looking grim 'cause they've been sitting choosing a hat. Does anybody still wear a hat? I'll drink the last. And here's to the girls who stay smart. Aren't they a gas? Rushing to their classes in optical art, wishing it would pass. Another long